Well, it's good to see everybody. Thanks for coming out. I'm excited to be here. So obviously I'm here to talk about North Bay residential trip, which is going to be April 4th through the 6th, which is a Wednesday to Friday. But obviously the main reason I'm here is to be here to answer any questions that you have, hopefully ease any concerns, and get you completely comfortable to send your kids to us for a couple of nights in the beginning of April. So at the end, after I kind of do my thing, and we go over some of these logistic things, I'll definitely be here to answer any questions that you have and go over anything about safety, security, health forms, cabins, curriculum, all of that. So North Bay is located in Cecil County, Maryland, so it's about an hour from here. So really it's just a drive up 95 North. You get off exit 100 through the town of Northeast in Cecil County, Maryland, in Elk Neck State Park, and we're right off the Susquehanna River, which is part of the Chesapeake Bay. So that's where your kids will be. And North Bay is really about three things, three tenets of the program: environmental science, character education, and adventure team building. So they're going to be able to take some of the things they've been learning in math, science, social studies, and apply them in a real-world setting at North Bay. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about what they're going to be doing as far as when they're out looking at clams, fish, vultures, comparing natural wetlands to man-made wetlands. But I want to show you a couple of video clips first. One, it'll just kind of show some of the activities that they'll do, and then the second one will be more about cabins, nighttime activities, North Bay Live. So sit back, relax, enjoy this, and then I'll be back with you.
Have you ever dreamt of a place where all of those involved believe that the choices kids make now really do matter for their futures? A place where the staff and the mission are solely focused on the success of every student that comes to their campus. Have you ever imagined a place where a student's education and the content of their character matter just as much as the other? This is not a dream. This is real. This is North Bay.
Hi, my name is Dave, and over the next several minutes, we here at North Bay wanted to show those of you preparing to come to our campus what an actual day at North Bay looks like. This is to serve all of the parents and school administrators that are preparing to send their students to our facility and to better help prepare them for that time. We may not be able to answer all of your questions in this video, but you will find many resources in this DVD as well as online at www.northbayadventure.com. And please, don't hesitate to call our administration office if you still can't find the answers to the questions you may have. Now then, follow us, if you will, through a day at North Bay, from when kids wake up in the morning to when they settle back down in their cabins at night. Let's start where every day begins, at breakfast.
Here at North Bay, we serve great tasting food that's going to give our campers exactly what they need to get the most out of themselves and their classes. And if certain students cannot handle certain foods or have specific allergies, just let us know and we'll get them exactly what they need. Meals are served at 8:30, 12 noon, and 6 o'clock for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our meal times also feature entertaining and engaging meal hosts that lead the students through their meal times, as well as help to illustrate our themes each day in fun and instructive ways. Each morning and afternoon at North Bay, students are involved with the cutting edge and proven practices of outdoor education that North Bay has become synonymous with. Spending time with a North Bay educator is like no other educational setting. In these settings, students may learn many things, from researching the effects of marine debris in our environment and on our planet, to discovering how vultures protect humans from disease, or they may even end up collecting data on different clam species from our research vessel, the Miss Nancy. Using the IEEIA model of investigative teaching,
investigating and evaluating environmental issues and actions.
students will form questions based on an environmental problem, hypothesize on the results of their research, collect data to show evidence of their issue, and finally, prepare written results and decisions based on their findings. After the time spent in classes, the North Bay adventure continues into the afternoon activities. After dinner, the evening staff continue to help the campers gain the most out of their experience with astronomy presentations and night hikes. Also, during the evening hours, our North Bay counselors continue teaching the daily themes to the students that they have heard throughout the day. The counselors, alongside parent chaperones, supervise students during the evening activity hours and stay overnight in the cabins. While in the cabins, the counselors and parent chaperones ensure the safety of the children and also facilitate group discussions based on the daily themes. To provide students with the best stay possible, all of the cabins here at North Bay are heated and air conditioned, and every camper has access to their own storage area for their personal belongings. We provide the bed linens, you bring the towel. Visiting staff members have the option to stay at our quiet staff residence called The Roost. Depending upon occupancy, teachers from the same school may be asked to share a room, but all of our rooms come with 2 twin beds, private baths, refrigerators, and all of our rooms are close to comfy private lounges with TVs and kitchens. After evening activities, students make their way to North Bay Live. In this live interactive evening show, campers get to discuss issues that middle school students have been introduced to or will be introduced to in the near future. With our evening program, we hope to begin conversations with students about making positive choices for their education, their future, and the world around them. Some topics may include bullying, violence, staying in school, and drug use. Kids love North Bay Live and will have fun interacting with our show hosts and various characters that arrive on the scene each day. When schools prepare to attend North Bay, our administration team handles all communications between the school and North Bay. Administration is responsible for processing all documentation for the visiting students to attend the trip, such as health forms for each child and medication forms. Administration also handles customer service needs and questions of guests and students while they are here. Students visiting can also come to the administration building to make phone calls home. Our administration building also houses our wellness center, staffed by 24-hour nurses and EMTs. This is where students can come for medication or any medical issues they may have while at camp.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed seeing a day at North Bay. With our interactive teaching and learning style, we're able to gauge our curriculum to fit your students' learning ability.
Thanks for taking a moment to watch a day at North Bay. If you have any questions along the way, North Bay's knowledgeable staff will be there to help you. But also take a moment, if you need, to check out the links at northbayadventure.com labeled Schools and Parents.
So from all of us here at North Bay, we're looking forward to seeing you soon.
Soon you'll be getting kind of a packet from the school that'll have some Baltimore County forms, they'll have some North Bay forms, so I'll just touch on that briefly. There's a health form from us, there'll be a front and back, health history, a few other things, and of course you need to sign on the back. That's kind of the ticket to North Bay, so every student needs that. There'll also be a medication form, and that's only needed if your child is on prescription medicine and that needs to be sent to North Bay. If that is the case, that medication form needs to be filled out, signed by a doctor. Your kids will eat well, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They'll have seconds, possibly thirds. They're going to need a lot of fuel because we will be keeping them moving. So if there are picky eaters, food allergies, anything like that you're concerned about, please put that on the health form and/or medication form so that we know ahead of time. In most cases, our chef can make alternative foods, depending on what it is. If it's something where you would like to talk to our nurse or chef directly, please feel free to do that. Call our main number. We can do that. We do that on a weekly basis. And in some cases, students might need to bring food depending on what the circumstance is. We can accommodate that as well. I mentioned we had a snack bar in store. The snack bar ranges from about 50 cents to a few dollars. In the store, there's little knickknacks, again, 50 cents to a few dollars that they can purchase to remind them of their trip. shirts $10, more pricey items, sweatshirt $20. But I would say on average, families might send $15 if you're just talking about snacks. And you can send cash. There's a safe in each cabin. That money would go in an envelope with your child's name on it and be given to them when it was their time to go. If you didn't want to send cash, you could set up a gift card. Call us the day they arrive, the day before, give your information over the phone. We'll set up a gift card. They don't have to carry anything with them. They just have a credit in the snack bar or store. And that way they won't lose anything, and usually a little bit easier. Just one sort of caution with that is that we're not set up to give refunds off the gift card. So if you put $25 on there and they only spend $17, we're just not set up to give you that remainder back. So just please be mindful of that. And then we'll have lunch at around 12 o'clock, which is kind of their first thing they'll do at North Bay. And then they'll stay with us, and then that Friday they'll leave North Bay around 11, come back to school, and get home before normal dismissal time. But that Thursday, that full day, the day will start at around 8:30 with breakfast. After that, they'll have their first class of the day, which goes up till about 11:45, 12 o'clock. Then lunch at 12, and then they'll have another class going up till about 3 o'clock that day. And again, classes, they're going to be the scientists, they're going to be the research participants. It is student directed as much as possible, so they're going to talk about some things that maybe they want to look at, they want to research, come up with their own research questions, study design, and then actually go out and collect their own data, do the cool stuff, get the hands-on experience, and then come back and do recommendations, conclusions. So breakfast at 8:30, class, lunch at 12, and then another class. And then from 3 to 6 is kind of where they'll rotate in their North Bay cohort, North Bay class, and do some of the team building elements. So a lot of the activities that you saw on the first video, they'll be rotating and doing those things. We have a gym at North Bay, also a building called Horseshoe Point that houses our North Bay store and snack bar. It has a game room, foosball, ping pong, pool tables, that again they'll get to do mainly during that 3 to 6 time period. And then dinner will be at 6. After dinner, they'll have a little bit more structured free time, again, either in Horseshoe Point, on our main field between the cabins, or in the gym. And then every night, around 7:45, 8 o'clock, or the 2 nights, they'll head to North Bay Live and see that presentation. So obviously, during the day, it's heavy on the environmental science, but in North Bay Live, it's kind of where we're driving home the character themes and talking about what it's like to be a 6th grader. There's 2 co-hosts on stage. It's very loud, fun, energetic, engaging, kind of continuing the learning process. And so they have a blast doing that. And we have a really, really awesome theater for them when they arrive. So that'll usually go to about 9:15. After that, they'll either head back to their cabin, depending on the night, and kind of debrief the day. They might do a very short night hike or astronomy lesson, again, depending on the night. But everybody's in their cabins by 10 o'clock. A few other things. You saw the cabins. So obviously this is a little bit more like glamping, not camping. The cabins are heated and air conditioned, so your kids will be nice and cozy when they're in the cabins. Each side of the cabin sleeps 12. So at a minimum, it'll be 11 students to 1 adult in the cabin. Most likely that adult will be a parent from Sparrows Point. In some cases, it might be a North Bay staff member if we need to fill in. And again, that staff member is an employee of ours who usually works in another facet. It might be night operations, might be adventure. So they're background checked, to get a job at North Bay, the normal, all of that. So each side of the cabin has 2 stalls, 2 showers with a curtain, large sink, and mirror. But probably the best thing about the cabins are the locations. Boys' cabin over here, backdrop of the woods. There's a road, very large field, another road, the theater, steps going down, another road, and then there's the girls' cabins. So one thing, where we are at Elk Neck State Park, we're right next to the Department of Natural Resources, so they do their rounds, day and night. But as far as us, all of our staff carry radios, so that's kind of how we keep in contact with our main hub in the office. At least one of the teachers, administrators will have a radio from Sparrows Point. and that's how we keep in contact there. So when you go down to North Bay, there's a large circle, and kind of the opening circle, and then there's a parking lot a little bit further down to the left. Right where that circle is, to the right is the administrative building, and the nurse's office is right there, and then right across the deck is the dining hall. If you walk past the dining hall and admin, the boys' cabins are to the right. That large field that I talk about is right there, and then the girls' cabins are over to the left. So by a walk, it's a 30-second walk from either the boys' or girls' cabins to get kind of to that main hub of the dining hall, admin, nurse. So the question was, can you come check us out kind of prior to the trip, either during the week or the weekend? And yes, you can. I would just ask, just call and say, hey, I'm a parent of Sparrows Point, a child that may be attending in April, I'd like to come check it out. During the week, obviously we have a ton more staff there during the week, so if possible, we could probably have somebody tour you around and give you the quick tour and go through all that. The weekend could probably work too. We sort of switch a little bit on the weekend to more of a retreat center where there's men's, women's group, church groups that come and use our facility, and we're not necessarily running the programming. We're just more of a guest services role. And I mean, we're pretty much open 24/7, so there should be staff there if you want to do a weekend, but that's fine. Just give us a heads up so that we know that you're coming. We can expect you, and yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yep. So for cell phones, we kind of default to the school on that, whether they say you can bring cell phones or you can't. I mean, for us, it'd be great if all cell phones were left, kid-wise. I mean, if you're an adult coming, obviously you can bring your cell phone. I mean, it would be great if the kids left their cell phones and definitely any other electronics, but they really can use our phones at North Bay. So typically how we work it is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's right across the way from admin. So, they eat for 20 minutes. They can come over, between sort of 8:30 and 9, 12 and 1, 6 and 7, come over and give you a call. And a lot of kids do that.
So as Sparrows Point, we decided that the kids can bring cell phones, however, they're not allowed to carry them during the day. They're locked in the safe all day long, so they can have them when they get back to their cabin at 10 o'clock until they leave the cabin at 7:30 in the morning. However, last year, the kids literally, it was like 5 minutes in the cabin, they were out. So there was no time for texting, calling, or Snapchatting. There was no time for anything. So at North Bay, they do it buffet style, but it's more like family style too, where the kids are actually gathering the food for their entire cabin. They're bringing it back, they're setting the table, they're learning how to set the table, they're learning how to scoop, to dish, to use manners, to clear up. So the North Bay staff provides all of that. So with the money that you guys are paying to go, it's room and board. So it's all your food, all your linens, all your activities, all of your entertainment for 3 full days. It's not mandatory. It is part of the grade. So the kids that decide not to go will be signing a contract saying that they are still coming back here to school for those days, and they're going to be graded on the assignments that they're doing here. Whereas the kids that do go will be graded on the assignments and the work that they're doing up there. So they will still get grades going or not going. This year in the permission slip packet that you'll get on Friday, the very last page of it is a page that says, my child will not be going because of blah, 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 and that they will be coming to Sparrows Point those 3 days. Yes, Alexis? They don't want you to bring food from your own house because we don't want little critters coming into your cabin at night, scaring everybody else in your cabin. Believe me, there is plenty of food at North Bay. In order to be a chaperone for North Bay, you have to go through very extensive fingerprinting and background check through Baltimore County Public Schools, not just through State of Maryland. If you are already a Baltimore County Public School employee, then you are already, because you've already been fingerprinted, you're already grandfathered in to that security measure. So if you're a parent that has not been and wants to chaperone, I have a list of forms that I'm just going to compile an email list and I will send all of you guys the directions of how to become a chaperone. Now, we are not going to charge the chaperones the money to stay. So the chaperones, because you guys are giving up your own time and you're taking off of your work to come and chaperone for us, so we're not going to charge the chaperones to come and chaperone, but there is a fee, and I think last year it was $76 to go get fingerprinted and background checked in Towson. So the way that we're going to pick cabins is, let's say that, so Lynette Christensen wants to chaperone. So her daughter Keely is going to be able to pick one friend that she wants to definitely be in her cabin. So that's how we're going to pick cabins. And then everyone else, all of the 6th grade teachers are going to sit down and say, yes, this one should go with this one, or no, this one should not go with this one. We're not going to do, I want to be with my best friend, because that's really not the reason why we're there. And we want you to step out of your comfort element, and we want you to make new friends. We want you to try new things. We don't want you just hanging out with your buddy. Yes, so the question was, is there a place to charge your cell phones? So yes, there is electric in the cabins that you can bring your plug and charge your cell phone while you're there. As it gets closer, probably beginning of March, I'll send him a list. That way it'll give you a whole month to get things, but it's nothing that you wouldn't normally have at your house. It's extra clothes, lots of extra socks, because they will be getting wet, muddy, dirty. Extra undergarments, warm clothes. Prepare for the weather. If it's raining, pack a rain. If it's calling for rain, pack a raincoat. Pack a dollar store poncho, throw it in there. Hiking boots are good. Nothing new. Don't bring the new Adidas shoes or the new jeans. We want old clothes that already have holes in them, already are stained up. They're going to get dirty, muddy. We're not there to impress. So packing clothes, just dig in your closet and find something that still fits but doesn't really look good, throw it in the bag. Oh, and also is on the list will be a trash bag for all of their dirty clothes. So at the end of the week, dirty, wet clothes, there's not a dryer there, so don't think that they're going to be able to reuse clothes. You guys will pack a trash bag so you can pack in your dirty clothes in that and carry it home that way as well. They do provide all of the linens and the blankets. You have to bring a bath towel and a washcloth, along with all of your hygiene, bath soap, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant. We had to tack on an extra $20 per kid for a bus. So in total, it's $185 for your child to go for the 3 days. That's transportation up there, back, all of the food, and all of the classes that are included in that too. Now I have set up payment options to make it a little easier so it's not one big chunk out of your pocketbook. So if you wanted, and I'm only accepting payments on Fridays. Last year I said whenever you could bring it in, but that just got crazy with 190 kids every day of the week. So just on Fridays, if you wanted your child to bring in check or cash, so if you did every Friday from now until March the 9th, it's $31 a week. And if you split it in half, it'll be $93. From now until February 16th, it's $93, and then from the 23rd of February to the 9th, it's another $93. Or you can just pay the whole $185 out, flat out too. Either way.